Now, I know y'all really want to talk about defense. We have put an emphasis on defense. We traded our first round pick next year to go back and get a second defensive player after we drafted a defensive player at 15, if I'm not mistaken. So, we got our new defensive coordinator, Jeff Ulbrich, who is a new old face, very familiar to the Falcons. He was here under Dan Quinn. He started out as a linebackers coach. He left UCLA, came to the Falcons, went from the Falcons to the Jets, went from Jets to linebackers coach to defensive coordinator under Robert Saleh. So, and then he was interim head coach, if I'm not mistaken. So he's got a lot of experience that he got all at one time. Like, that was everything I named was in like a 5 to 7 year period. Right? It's not like he put in 30 years because he's relatively young compared to some other coaches. So he wants to bring an attacking defense. That's something that he loves, is to blitz, and he loves to make you uncomfortable and be multiple. He is a 3-4 base defensive coach, but he also wants to run the 4-3, which is conducive to everybody on our roster to be able to do both. So I'm excited about the defense. I'm excited to see how we adapt to his scheme and how his scheme adapts to us being the defense, our defense. Let's talk about where y'all want to start. Y'all want to start with linebackers, D-line, edge, or you want to go to secondary? I know where y'all want to go. We all want to talk about the D-line and the edge rushers. So let's do it. For the 3-4, Onyemata and Rook have been getting a lot of the first team reps on the inside. So the 3-4, I think you got a nose tackle or a one technique. And then you have the right side end or the weak side defensive end and the strong side defensive end. Rook and Onyemata have been getting a lot of work at the nose tackle, D tackle position. The nose tackle in the 3-4 and then the D tackle position in the 4-3. A lot of people are impressed with Rook. This new defense of attacking versus sitting down and reading is always any defense that runs where it's attack versus read normally is going to be better than the read versus the attack defenses, because offenses are so precise that you don't really have time to read. You have to trust your keys, trust your film study, and get to the point where you're supposed to be on the field and keep your head on a swivel in today's offense. So if it were me, I would try to find ways to take all of our defensive linemen and make them attackers because they're so young. Rook is in his second year and he's one of the veterans other than like Onyemata and Morgan Fox. And at the end of the day, all the young players are going to have to play. So Rook has been impressive. Ulbrich says the sky's the limit for him. His first step is out of this world, and he looks like a big Grady Jarrett. So a bigger version of Grady Jarrett, I should say. So there's a lot of hype around Rook. I'm a shameless plug the whole time. Call back to the defensive episode 2 of the series, Camp Confidential. I talked about Onyemata, or who's going to step up and be the run defender, and it looks like that's going to be Onyemata. We have a lot of other players that are coming back. I believe Taquan Graham is back. I'm excited to see about Brandon Dorlis to be able to get at least some reps at D tackle or D end, because he's one of those guys that's multiple as well. Rook is multiple. Dorlis is multiple. And I think the biggest wild card and probably the person that could take our defense over the top from a D-line perspective is Zach Harrison, because he's 6'5", because he has freakishly long arms, because he's quick. He can play inside at the 0 and the 2 or the 1 and the 3, and he can play on the outside as the 5 technique, right? So Zach Harrison is a hidden gem for me. If he can put it all together, I don't know how often he would come off the field because he's so versatile. And I think him being versatile allows you to play and pair him with other players as well. And then there's also Taquan Graham, who's coming back, who had started to kind of carve out a spot on this roster as a starter or a second player, a second string player, before he injured himself on, I think, a fumble recovery against the Chargers. I think he tore something, ACL or Achilles or something. But he is back and he's making some noise as well. In camp, everything I hear about our D-line is they are almost unblockable. And when I say unblockable, I don't mean like Philadelphia unblockable where they won the Super Bowl, but I do mean that they are attacking and it's very difficult to get in front of them to cut off their rush lanes, which is what I like.